you can talk. Sorry, nobody could hear us for a second. We couldn't figure out why, and it was my fault because I had it muted.
Go to the website. Yeah, so we're starting an hour late today. We had a shoot this morning. If you're just tuning in, like I said, Dave says the audio is off for a second. We're painting Snugs. We might have kids joining along today, so we thought it'd be fun to have an animal portrait. We're doing oil paintings today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple oil paintings. Sorry, I was messing with stuff. So.
Yeah. We're going to be working in oil. Right, if you want the reference, you can find it on our main page. You can also email me at woodburyhillstudio@gmail.com. And I'll give you a higher resolution if you would like. So he's all white, so keep that in mind with your...
white is not straight white.
Yes, and don't get too excited to get into that. He's actually
paint around him. That's
the
easiest way to paint him. I found is usually painting around him and dropping him in with like a really cool gray is kind of the best way to hold his spot.
Yeah, and maybe push the. I was gonna push the colors that you're seeing there. You know, he's got that nice warm belly right here up against those cools. So kind of play with the temperature here. It's a good, it's a fuzz reference too. That chest is so fuzzy.
Yeah, he's a fur ball.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a quick thing on saying that we are going to be on Twitch right now.
Okay. I'm going to start off by making my stain color, olive green, crimson alizarin, and Indian yellow. And I kind of set it in the order of the ratio. I'm doing a little bit more olive than alizarin, and a little bit more alizarin than, well, actually just a little, I only add a little bit of the Indian yellow, unless I want a really vibrant kind of dirty background. But I'm gonna actually play with the warmth on for my background because there's so much cool from the fence. There's also a lot of greenery around him, and then he's a lot of cool. So my stain, I'm actually gonna make sure to have I'm now like kind of being a little bit more alizarin, a little bit more Indian yellow than I usually would.
Sir Snuggle Fart as the model. So stoked.
Yeah.
He's a tough one though, and it's a difficult painting because there's a lot of stuff I think, but I don't know.
Eliminate that. You can
so
also...
what's up? Damien and Kaylin are both painting too, I hope?
Talk louder. It's our audio. You turn the audio down for our mics before.
Seems like it's reaching up there, okay? How's that?
Go back, yeah. Because remember, it's not with our mics, so...
Yeah. All right,
sorry, we forgot we didn't have our mics on.
Yeah, that's all right. Showing up, good. Got to keep on playing the fucking music. There.
You gotta turn down the audio in the background too a little bit.
I turned our audio off. I totally muted it.
Cool. You should make it a little bit smaller so we can see comments.
Oh.
Right? Or no?
I don't know. Hold on, I gotta hit skip.
Yeah, perfect.
Alright. Cool.
Oh, you can't get in.
Yeah, you can. He's fine.
Oh.
I don't know what he's meowing about. I think the chair's bugging him.
Sorry, the model's being such a prima donna. So, since he's so light, I'm going to go really, really kind of light with my my background and my drawing. Just because I don't want to have to fight through so much darkness.
think he's good. I think the fan was bugging him.
Mm.
What he was tripping on. He's being such a weirdo. That was the model.
Yeah, so I was just
Sir
saying,
Snuggy Buggy.
being a prima donna, because he
Snuggle
knows
Fart.
he's the model for the
Yeah.
day. And he's like,
He
oh.
totally knew. He knew we were talking about him. And he's like, yo, don't talk about me like I ain't here.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of figure out what composition I want. The reference is kind of in this cool composition. I thought that's kind of why I picked it too. And you can also zoom in if you want on the photo and just work from like his chest. That little V makes a cool.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes a cool reference for animals as well.
Wow.
Doing that bust.
Really pretty.
What do you want to do, my love? Do you want to do bust or full? You can do bust.
No. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Less to work with.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
we'll use a smaller brush. No, I said I could use a smaller
Oh yeah,
brush.
I thought you said where's a smaller brush. I was like, yeah. So yeah, first I'm gonna go ahead and kind of compose it, and I'm gonna
And
go.
also, since the... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, baby.
No, go ahead.
All right, I was just going to say that since there is so much green in this, that I'm probably going to use... And there's a lot of blue in this fence, or lavender almost. But I think what I'll do is do my pre-stain sort of like the same way you are, Britt. Very, very
Warm.
sort of tilted, sort of a reddish or warm stain or pre-drawing or whatever, because I want those greens to pop. I want the blues and the greens to pop a lot more. So I'm going to start off with that stain, and even sort of the warmth in his ears and
Well, I was
nose, you
gonna
can
say
kind
his
of get.
belly, and he's also very
Yeah,
warm.
he's got a lot
like,
of red down in the belly here.
His actual flesh is just pink. You know, so there is
Right,
the warmth deep
So
in
he's
him.
got that in there somewhere. You just know
He's
it.
just surrounded by a lot of cools.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kind of getting the composition, finding what and how much of him I want in there.
And if you wanted to just not cheat, but if you wanted to jump forward with your stain, you could use something that was very yellow. I would say tilt your pre-stain a little bit more yellow or pale ochre or something like that. I wouldn't say pale ochre, that's very opaque. But use your stain more towards the yellow side if you wanted to. Just use that to get like the transparency for all the dark that's in the trees, but then also for the green. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
could pull a lot of that yellow out of the green and just do very thin washes over it to just kind of cheat that. But I wouldn't get anything underneath that line, sort of, because all that cool, you don't want any yellow or any transparent in, because that's only in shadow, and that's not that's not transparent. That's a very opaque and cool color. So shut the F up and paint now. That's what I've been missing. Is olive. Do you have any olive over nearby? Oh, talk louder. See the mic. How about now? Can you hear us better now?
He wrote that a while ago.
Oh, okay.
That's when I said the mic thing.
Oh, okay.
That's when I turned the volume up.
Oh, okay.
Is it better now, Manny, if you're listening? We turned it up because we're not using our mics.
You're listening to Spotify. Thank you, Spotify.
So that'll kick us off the hill.
No, they can't
know.
hear it.
I know, I'm joking.
We should put in the double mics, the lapel mics.
Yeah.
That's way better. Because then it doesn't pick up any of the outside crap.
Yeah.
There is.
He has a lot of warmth in his chest. What do you?
Oh, there they are.
He has a lot of kind of warmth in that chest and underbelly, so I'm gonna kind of do a loose, light stain on it. I'm going really light compared to how a lot of times I start off my drawings, just because everything's so light in here. In him, I don't want to have to do a lot of fighting later on down the line. I've been using these squeegees lately. They work awesome. They've been like my favorite new tool during the beginning stages. Honestly, even further out. I'll even carve in once I have something really thick. Thank you.
Just for when we do.
Yep. They work really great even when you're got a lot of paint already up there and you're make some cool shapes, and they're fun. I really like these squeegees. I've grown to really like them. So now I'm just kind of pushing a little bit around and finding shape in him. He's got that little bit of tilt, actually quite a bit of tilt, so I'm going to just remember that now and kind of landmark that kind of axis is on, or whatever. Realign, keep realigning with this picture. So I kind of got where I'm gonna keep them in. What's kind of cool about him when painting him is you can kind of carve him out of the background and then build him in with grays. So I'm gonna probably not do too much drawing on his face like I usually would, but starting off with like a person. I'm gonna work and just right now actually mix in my background color lightly, like just a rough color of that, and then get my grays going. Because there's not a lot of, I mean, right, it's mainly grays. There's not a lot of drawing in you really would want to do. I mean, you could do a little bit on his face, but I feel like you can almost just kind of drop in your shadows to build those cheeks, and then go in and kind of render out the eyes and the nose. Because usually with cats, I have a problem when I do cats. I want to go straight for those big old enchanting eyes, and like, I don't know, then you get caught up and everything's about getting that right. So for me personally, because I know I get caught up, I'm going to just kind of not sit and try to nail those in until I get them locked in.
Mostly working in the negative space.
Yes, mostly working in the negative space. So I'm going to, now that I got some of just the warmth, now I'm going to make my background color. I'm going to do some burnt sienna.
Do you want to get down?
Some olive green.
Slide, slide, slippity slide.
Actually, maybe a little bit more olive green.
I'm going to plug in these now, see how they do.
Yes. Manny, if you're listening, Dave's going to plug in our mics. Let me know if in a minute or so you hear better audio or not, or if you don't hear anything.
Should be better now. We're going to look. It might be really loud. Hold on, babe.
I'll do it with this.
Yep.
Oh, good. It's actually really good. It's supposed to be like 16. Talk? Check
Hello?
1, 2. Check, check, check.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, that's better.
You can... Oh, yeah. Hero. Or no.
Hello, hello, hello. Cool.
Cool. So I added a little bit of my pale ochre to that burnt sienna and olive green mixture.
Cool.
And then I'm also going to do a gray pile right now as well. Let me see something and see if I can show my palette better.
Take this
Okay.
camera to the palette. Should be real easy.
No,
Watch.
Oh,
Look
no,
it
it's
up in the top corner.
Yeah. It's okay. It's
Okay.
going to be... no, I can do this
Oh,
real
great.
quick.
I already did it. No, I don't know where this one is.
Yeah, you're... Oh, wait. Right there.
There.
Yep. You're fine. All I was going to do is that.
Here.
No, look. All I had to do is that.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Oh, okay. There it is. It's crazy, the delay.
Yeah. Cool. So now that I got that mixture, I'm going to get some grays in. I'm going to do a more warm... How to word this? A warmer cool and a cooler cool. 2 variations, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You just split that one.
One lean
Yeah.
one more warm and one completely cool, where you try to eliminate as much warmth as possible, and one where you keep some of that warmth in your grays. And that I'm going to start off with actually probably cleaning off something real quick. Do you have a little scrape thing?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we started a little late on our paint along today. We had a photo shoot, and I forgot to write on the page that we'd be starting later.
Yeah, we've already been down to the forest and back today. It's beautiful in Washington.
Yeah, it's
Probably hot
gorgeous
as
today.
Shit.
How's California right now? The weather.
Say hello. I put way too much of this all over the place. Ah,
Why are you throwing brushes at everybody?
throwing stuff. I need to actually get me some paper towels.
Yeah, and then my grays I'm going to mix is going to be a cobalt blue and burnt sienna. And then I'm going to do a split off and grab some and add a little bit more cobalt to it. And then from there, I will kind of flex the 2 grays.
The coffee is cooking.
So to get more paint real quick. Hot. This is Kaylin. Hi, Kaylin. I bet it's hot. Oh, poor thing.
You feel so sorry for you guys. Yeah, you should tell them. We went on a little photo shoot today about
Yeah, we
using
went.
your stuff.
I'll actually bring. Oh, I can't. But I'll send it over to you later. We did a photo shoot today with a headdress that looked like an earth goddess, and it was really cool. It was really.
You made the headdress.
Yeah, I made the headdress. It had a dragonfly on it.
I'm gonna go get it. I'll bring it in.
Yeah, Dave will bring it in.
Is it in the living room or the bedroom?
It's in the bedroom in its normal spot. And yeah, it was really fun. We went out to the forest. It was really lush and green, and did like a nature shot. I put like body armor on her. I put like fake, like real branches, but like armored pieces on her. Bark.
Like armor made from bark. It's really cool. And this headdress is actually a polypore mushroom with a wasp nest on it, a real dragonfly. It's got like moss, and then it's got turkey tail mushroom, polypore mushrooms on it.
Tilt down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wasp nest. And then the model wore it, and then we clipped her hair to the back, but then there's also a dragonfly. Looks pretty sick. It's a real dragonfly that Brittany acryliced. Here you go, babe.
Oh.
Or I'll put it back.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, so we went and did that, and then we made her. It was a lot of fun, and kind of made like a matching outfit with it. Like Dave was saying, armor made out of like tree bark and moss, and I had like other pieces of mushrooms and turkey tail on her. It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Oh yeah, having girls walk around the forest barefoot. Kind of fun.
Yeah, she did great. The model did great. It was fun.
It's beautiful out too today up here, so it's like 75. It's supposed to get up into the 80s.
So with my grays that I just made, my black that I just made, I'm gonna split off and make my grays with. I'm gonna make a warmer gray and a cooler gray. I'm using manganese. There's a lot of greens in this background, so that manganese is a good cool. And I'm going to add a little bit of my cobalt violet in there. You don't need to. Lately, I've been using a lot of that in my cool grays. Especially when you kind of want to dole out that green that comes through on manganese. If you've used manganese a lot, that purple neutralizes that gray a little bit, and it keeps it kind of warm still. It does a really nice effect. I've been using cobalt blue or cobalt violet and manganese violet, I believe, lately to my cool grays.
Well, they lowered it all?
No, this is better now. So I'm going to take some of my grays and just kind of, or my black, and add it to my cool.
Two times! What time? Oops. Behind you is coffee.
Thank you.
Behind your right elbow, actually.
Perfect. And then I'm taking a little bit of Indian yellow and mostly the scarlet in the mixture, and just like a dab of Indian yellow, just to make my warmth. Remember to keep your stuff clean in between so you don't mix those temperatures. Okay, now I got my grays, I got my blacks,
I got my dark background, not necessarily the lights of it, but the darks of my background. And now I'm going to go in and get those in and kind of carve in or block them in with the backgrounds.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Do. All right.
It's kind of a little warm still. So I'm going to knock that back down.
I like this fence because I use this fence in this drawing as a way for me to really kind of establish a milestone or somewhere that I can go back, like in portrait painting, Manny. If you remember the Alla Prima, like Ground Zero type style, I want something that I could anchor to, that I can go back and start measuring from.
That's what I kind of did with this right here. I did the opposing. I did kind of like this, that cut from that tree down his body.
That's a great idea. I haven't even established that.
Yeah, that kind of like axis, you know, Y and X axis it kind of has going on right now. And then since there are trees and there's lightness going in, I'm going to kind of make this area kind of not so soft with my background. I might just go kind of rough with it.
Get up off of that tree. Sorry.
They probably can't even hear the music.
They can't hear the music.
No.
That's what's so hilarious about it to me. All they could hear is me doing.
He thinks he's
Jackie
Chan or some shit.
No, it's James Brown.
I know it is, but you think you're. But in reality, you're more like Jackie. Well, no, Jackie Chan actually did a great.
Yeah, he does a better one than I do. For
the dance,
sure.
at least.
Terrible.
He kills it with the moves.
Mine, I know. Thank you very much. I do kill it with the moves. Hot. It's very hot. Oh, that's Kaylin.
Yeah. I know. It's...
The little raspberry queen. Probably doesn't even remember.
She's like,
She's
what?
like, what the hell does he keep talking about with that raspberry shit? That's all you used to do is blow raspberries at me when you walked in anywhere.
We still love fresh local food just as much as you do. So we're making sure that you have fresh food and essentials you need every time you shop with us. Order today for delivery or free pickup. QFC, but fresh.
Is Damien painting too?
We're here to help you
Manny, if you
essentials you need.
make him answer.
QFC, love fresh, love local, love delivery.
All right, I'm gonna set in a little chunky cat now. He's a brat, man. I should show everybody what he's doing now. He's cute as hell. Hi, buddy. He's sleeping literally to my left about 3 feet on a little patch of grass that's all his own.
I added a little bit of blue into my mixture a little bit right as I got up to him because there's a lot of that green. So I was just adding that blue to my darks in my background just to kind of cool down that area.
It's funny doing the drawing of him. It looks like a little like a cotton ball exploded on a fence.
Yeah, you just like are painting a cotton ball. Or those dandelions, you know.
I suggest funk as you're listening.
It's been our new music for painting,
and
it's added
amazing.
It's added
Sometimes
an
I have to
energy,
get up. Yeah.
an energy to my painting.
Sometimes I have to get up and literally dance around the kitchen just because it's so good to listen to. and it provides endless hours of
Entertainment
hilarity
for me.
for Brit. Because I think I can dance in my head. I think I look much cooler than I do.
He's saying that hoping people in the room will say he is better than he is.
No. I know that's true. I'm fully aware that I look ridiculous.
You look around, you're all, huh?
Yeah.
No one stepped in to...
Yes. Wait, you were supposed to disagree with me.
Oh no, you just beautiful. You're like a little angel on your feet.
I do. I float about like an angel. What was that?
A hammer. Literally.
That was a rock hammer that we have in our kitchen.
If you know us, that's not very uncommon.
Yeah, that's not out of the blue, out of the norm at all.
And usually I kind of don't do rough backgrounds like this, but
they're a hoot.
He has so much. There's all that tree behind him, so I don't want to just have a soft background.
Oh, I keep checking to see if anyone's talking. Do.
And it's going to be tempting to want to just jump right into the whites and the lights in him. But then you'll be fighting. You'll be fighting until you get the background in. A lot of information and nothing will look right. I'm only saying that because I've painted him a few times and...
He's a pain in the ass.
Only until you get the backgrounds in. Do the lights. Even read. And then you start realizing there's not actually a lot of white in him. Or there is, but... He picks up so much around him. So reflective. And I'm kind of using his ears. I noticed with cats, like, they're a lot of, like, you can landmark a lot off. Like, their ground zeros, the tip of their ears a lot of times for me. You could kind of, like, reshape from there. At least for me.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely a good ground zero.
Yeah.
Because then you could line, like, how far is the eye away from
Yeah,
it?
like, the width of their ears determines how, like, the angle of how much of their head's exposed.
Well, it's crazy. Like, I'm so focusing on just that shape in there.
Yeah.
Like, the top, from the top of his head to the corner.
Yeah.
Like, I keep noticing how far off I am.
That's what I was saying. It's
And
the
I'm like,
ground
"Ugh."
zero of a cat
Yeah.
is that hollow space. If you're looking at the reference, that hollow space from the ears where there's like almost like a little V. That's going to be a really good ground zero or landmarking. Unless you have been painting pets longer and you're like, you guys are dummies. That's not how you work at pets.
Oh, yeah. There's
Then-
probably so much better way. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're not at all saying this is the way to do it. We're just painting.
Yeah.
Probably don't.
I'm just
Probably
speaking.
such a better way to do this.
He doesn't say. I'm just speaking out what I'm doing, what actions I'm making.
Jen Art.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! If you want to see some beautiful, like stunning animal portraits,
She is the master of
Yeah.
animal portraits for real.
Um,
And they're so much more simply done.
and there's so much personality. She really
Yeah,
captures
she
the
really does
personality of
everything.
animals. Yeah, she's a killer.
She makes it look simple. I mean, I'm not saying it is easy. I'm just saying
No, she probably
knows
spends
how
a
to
lot
make
of
it look
time.
so
Yeah.
easy, and it's trickery. I tell ya, it's trickery. How she does it. There's got to be numbers. She's tracing. That's what it is.
No, I've seen her starting. She actually does.
No,
she
I know.
does
It's
a
like
lot
it
of.
wouldn't even matter if she was tracing. You still couldn't pull off that kind of brush stroke and
Yeah.
that effect without knowing what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
She's a master.
Yeah, she really
For
is.
real. kind of crazy. What the model that we worked with today, she's from actually Capitol Hill. She's from Chop or whatever, Chaz or
She was living in that area
Ching-a-ching-chang.
when all this happened.
Yeah, she was in the middle of it, so she's been like shacked up in her apartment for like 3 weeks, just going to the grocery store and back. But gotta hand it to her, man. Like she showed up. Manny, I don't know if you remember how much that was always a thing during paint nights in Pasadena. And when the model would show up, it was just always, that was like, whoa, right on. Because so many would drop out. You just don't want people to see my work. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, calm down, Trump.
Okay. 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 Just understand, okay?
All right, so now I'm gonna work on some of my cool grays. I'm gonna get part of that right side of him in. It's a beautiful glow, so don't go. This is why I didn't do a lot of drawing on him. Don't go too dark with your grays on him. They're very subtle, light, airy.
Yeah, see, I want to practice with that because I suck at it. Is this controversy? Oh, it is. It's parent controversy.
And so those
Prince
grays,
lives matter. Sorry.
so I'm taking the cool grays that I mixed first, just because there's a lot of warmth from everything else. So I just want to get those in now, so nothing kind of crosses over and gets mixed in some of these spots. It's always a good thing to be practicing that. That's why I like these little studies with working in things that are a lot of whites. You learn how to keep your brushes and your grays and then keeping everything clean, like in a separate, like you're not mixing temperatures and so I'm just going to kind of hit this area along the edge that I'm seeing the more cool versions of his grays, so the more blues or more towards that spectrum. And he's got a lot of the fur coming out. I'm gonna kind of wait. I'm gonna kind of almost do him almost blocky at first, so then I can drag that fuzz out into the background or vice versa. But since I just got that background in, I don't want to pull too much out right now and make that taint up this cool area. So I'm gonna kind of wait until it gets tacky. But I'm just going to kind of run along that cool shelf all along his right side, or his left side, our right side of viewing him. So I'm just going to kind of block in some cools. And not go all the way to the edge yet. I'm going to bring actually it in a little bit because there is a lot of warmth and his cheek and chin, but then I can actually just drop in with those white. You can see it's so pretty. It's almost like a ruffle he's got on with his fluff. You can just kind of drop in those warm highlights right over that cool area. Oh, just you don't really got to do much work actually in that area if you keep a nice separation of contrast, huh? And then once you drop that in, it'll just set it off. And
I'm sorry, I was letting my sister know that we were doing this because she is not on. Oh, she's not on social media so much. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
wanted to give her a chance to check it out.
And so
And there's someone else, Scott. But he could watch YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
He has like a Roku, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, maybe he would dig on it.
And so I'm going to just run that cool grays first along this cheek right there. And this is where I'm going to start kind of framing in the shape of his face. That's what I was saying earlier. I mean, you could have locked in part of his face, which is fine. Just for me, I wasn't quite composed yet, so I didn't want to get his face in yet because it's actually quite tiny compared to how big his head is in the photograph. So his facial features, actually, like his eyes and his nose, look larger than they really are sitting on it in his face. I'm going to put a little bit of cool up in this ear. So when I lay that warmth over, it will really pop. I'm going to go a little bit on the next value lighter on this gray, but still in my cools. Add a little bit more. Just kind of laying those more lighter grays. And then I'll get into my warm grays. It seems like our left side will be the more warm side. I'm going to kind of refrain from doing a lot of cools over there, even if I see some of them. Just because I really want to kind of play with that opposing colors and really keep them separate. And then finish out kind of shaping that mane. There's a lot of cools right underneath on that mane. That's really cool. He's like a ruffle right there. Love it.
Yeah, he does. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Indeed knows you've got big goals for your business, and we understand hiring is a crucial part of that. You need to hire people who will make a real impact. Indeed can help you find those important hires faster while paying only for what you need without any long-term contracts. Thanks to our super flexible payment options. Start finding your important hire today with a free $75 credit for your first job post and get in front of more quality candidates. Go to Indeed.com/high-impact. That's Indeed.com/high-impact. Terms and conditions.
Just gonna get a little bit more of these cools kind of shaped in on his face. It's a beautiful lavender. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more.
Hi, man. You guys said you would be here about an hour ago, and I think
A little bit more of my purple into that area now, because up by his face. Oh, let me turn that down real quick. Typical commercials are louder than the music.
Right?
I hate that. In his face, that the shadow that's on the side of his face is this beautiful, soft, like lavender gray. It's really nice. So I'm gonna go lean towards now more the purple and blue because I'm tilting more towards like my warm grays. I've been practicing doing that, it helps me keep my brushes clean and keeping like separation and stuff. If I slowly tilt into a temperature instead of just like
Diving into it.
diving in, like before, sometimes I'd
That's a
landmark.
good point.
You know, yeah, I'd landmark, be like, oh, let me make sure I get a warm, remember this, and that's where I kind of did my stain. And then after that, I was like, I've been creeping into temperatures to keep clean, because I sometimes get crazy and I have like 30 brushes going if I don't, you know, because then I'm like, crap, I got to keep starting on new brushes because I don't want to
Yeah.
mix them. So now I'm gonna get a little bit more of these, I guess I'd call a warm and a cool gray. It has a warm with that purple. Start adding more of that glow compared to where that manganese adds more of like a muted, dull kind of green gray to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about that the other day, how it has a very kind of dulling effect, you know?
Yeah, it'll kill stuff sometimes. But it drops it also. If you need it to drop it down, it will.
Kind of just depends on what you're trying to achieve. For this one, this reference in particular, he has a lot of actually that manganese gray in him. But it's probably because of the reflections from all the greenery around him is tilting the grays in him that way, you know? I'm going to use the restroom real quick, my love.
All right.
Just gonna do this. I'll be right back.
But it's so weird because that thing's at an angle. If you fix it, it'll screw me up, so don't.
I
But
know.
yeah.
I have my phone out for that
Oh,
reason.
okay. Yeah, I should have done that.
Don't worry, I'll Bluetooth it to you to your phone too.
Yeah, that might be helpful because it's at a weird angle where I keep
Yeah.
losing where I'm at.
Put
it.
exactly where you want it, and then
No,
I'll
no,
Bluetooth
it's fine.
it to you
It's fine.
too. Or I'll just message it to you. It's probably faster, huh?
Oh, yeah. I just kept going, why can't I figure out this drawing? And then I realized it's because I'm kind of drawing this. And I even kept moving this like that to try to mimic it. But it's not that. So then I'm just doing it now, babe, or I'm just painting what I see. And it's actually going to work way better.
I sent it to you too, so you have it back up like
Oh,
I
cool.
did. I'm doing from both. I'm using the bigger version for color to get see the color and shape.
Yeah.
And I sent you.
Yeah, I just got it. Cool. Who do you think you are? That works. Yeah, I don't talk as much as Britt. Are people painting along? Man, she's got a freaking great little drawing in already and everything. I'm like over here still trying to even get the dang cat centered, but whatever. If you're painting along, maybe shoot it to the email Woodbury Hills Studio, singular, because we don't own more than one, that's for certain. And woodburyhillstudio@gmail.com. And if you send it over there, we'll just check it. We won't show it to everybody. We won't create it or none of that bullshit. But it's cool if someone's actually painting along. We'd like to check it out and know that, I don't know, not just spinning our wheels or whatever. I don't give a stuff. We'll paint regardless, so. But yeah, we had a ball today. Britt's headdress that she made came out ridiculous. And we ended up finding this spot that we hadn't even planned on. That's the way things normally work out, it seems, though, man. It's like you get all these plans and we do all this research. We had gone scouting, we had done all this stuff, and then we were just like, we get there and the sun wasn't cooperating. The people were fine and everything was fine. Just we didn't get the light we needed right away. The time of year it is, it's crazy right now. And so we just kind of looked around and we ended up finding this little spot that worked out really well, you know, for just being in a clutch situation or whatever they call that. But man, what a ball though. What a fun morning that is.
Saturday we're doing a crab one.
Yes,
Creatures.
Saturday. What Britt's talking about and saying in the background is we're doing one Saturday at the beach. Where we're going to, she's got a headdress that's ocean themed. It's got like parts of, you know, and ocean wildlife and whatnot in it that she went out and slaughtered. Just kidding, she didn't go out and slaughter anything. But we went out and collected, you know, during low tide, and we're gonna go out during low tide on this next shoot. And there's this where this pier used to be. And it's just slowly dissolved into the, you know, back into the ocean. So it looks cool. There's all these like just old pilings that used to hold the pier up, and they're in these sharp like shapes and stuff, and it's really cool. And we're gonna try to shoot amongst those kind of. And it's funny because we tried to do this thing. We went down and we were kind of scouting stuff out. And we tried to do this like sort of test shoot where I would stand in the way and like mock it up so Brittany could see what the lighting was like and when she wanted to shoot during the day, during the night, because we're always down in this area. But this one time we were down there and she had me pretend I was a chick standing, or a model standing up against this piling, and I was such a little sissy lala. Like I was so stressed out because there are these little, because when the tide's in, these parts of the piling are kind of submerged or close to water, and there's these little creatures inside these hard shells that are shaped like this that grow off the side of the pilings. And there's it's open and you could see these things moving around in there. And she wanted me to put my face right up against these things and just be like, oh, you know, and just try to be a model. And of course I had to goof. And so I thought I'd be clever and make some silly face. And then I heard one of these things like right in my ear. Like
girl.
I was like, ah! And it's funny because every picture of me that she has, I look like I'm terrified, like I'm about to burst into tears, or I'm like, look, my eyes are shooting down at the side of my cheek, like swearing that one of these things is gonna crawl into my ear. I don't know what I thought, but just the closer I got, the more I could hear these things moving around inside, and it was freaking me out. But that's going to be Saturday, so I'm kind of like, that's the thing that's going to be on my mind the whole day is just, oh, you think you're just, you know, some chick's just going to walk in and just do this. And
I'm laughing and he's laughing because he already knows she'll probably just walk up and just
I'm
stick
the
her
big
head
wuss
next to it and laugh.
Yep, and I'm going to be making this big deal out of nothing. But that's what we got looking forward to. But it would be cool. I wish there was a way we could record and stream.
We can. The GoPro streams live. We'll be at the beach. I have service in the greenery. I can't. And at the beach, I have service.
Okay, well, we'll try.
We'll try to do
we
a
won't
little
promise,
behind the scenes,
but yeah.
Maybe live stream.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
It's really cool. She's gonna be draped in pearls. I made a pearl skirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like half her eye have like crab legs and like barnacles, and it'll be pretty fun. Alright, and so I'm getting a little bit more of these grays in, the more lavender, I guess I would just say. The one that has the manganese and then the violet, cobalt violet mixture. And I'm kind of using it for his mid-tones in his left side of his face. That kind of build that cheek structure up. And I'm just gonna kind of work on blocking in his face. So that's how you're gonna get him in. He's nothing. He's a cotton ball. So
Yeah, he doesn't have any information on him at all.
yeah, so you kind of just have to trust the shapes. Excuse me. Trust the shapes.
Oh, I think he got some on my cheek.
Oh, so wet. What was that again? Chew. Just kidding. Right on you.
That's his hair. That's my kitty's hair.
I like the way you said that. My kitty's hair.
That's my kitty's hair. Now I'm gonna put teeth on him.
His teeth showing.
This is his smile.
And then he's kind of got that poofy, excuse me, poofy cheek mouth.
Poofy cheek mouth.
Yeah.
Is that a
cheek-
scientific term?
That is the scientific term for the cat's maxilla.
Maxilla maximoralis.
No, but he's got
Kaylin used to go
bone hunting.
bone searching with us.
Yes.
She was a freaking badass at it too.
Yeah. Right? Every time she went, we always would find great.
Always.
Yeah. Same with Damien.
Damien.
Damien will still tell the story of you and your dad. That's like
It's
literally
the best
one
story
of my favorite.
ever. I wish we would have had
It
a
makes-
GoPro mounted to our
It
foreheads.
makes my heart beyond happy.
Yeah.
Thinking
Yes.
of that day.
We love that.
Yeah.
It was one of our fondest memories is that day that we went bone collecting with Damien and his dad. And the cougar that was actually a Dorito bag.
It's a Dorito cougar.
That was so awesome.
I would love to have a conversation, Damien, when you're an adult. With
He's
perspective of
adult
it.
enough. I bet you he
Yeah.
doesn't even remember it. I know he doesn't.
I hope he does, because I'd love to know his
Even if he does,
perspective
he's
of
not going to
that.
admit it because he was running too. But it was the funnest thing. It was the coolest thing
Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
because it was his personality so much at that time.
Yeah.
How he was like pissed off
Yeah, he was so,
about the fact that he was running and had no idea why.
Yeah.
He was
it
so mad.
great.
Why are we running? He's asking his dad, what are we running from? His dad's all, shut up, just keep running. And they're both trucking down the hill. It was great.
Love it.
One of
Minnie's
the
all
best
shut the
things
fuck
ever.
up.
Yeah, I know. He's sitting there going, shut up.
So I'm gonna add a little bit more of those lavender grays. I'm gonna shape in that little arm right here, and then I'm gonna get into my warms. I'm gonna add I think actually a little bit, like you said, a little bit more Indian yellow. There is a lot of yucky Indian yellow in that gray on that left side of him, or the right side, but our left. So I'm gonna switch brushes now.
Mine's one of those paintings that's going to come together at the very end. I'm going to draw for like 4 hours on it. And then at the very end, it's going to be this stunner. Everybody's going to be amazed. Just be ready. It's so crazy. I do all this work, and then I look back, and there's so much more dark that has to be there just in looking at that area.
I know, that whole, like, it's
And
all
I
just
keep
dark.
freaking covering it up, and I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, I keep like pulling it back. I keep moving his body this way, and that's not what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But for some reason, my brain keeps fighting it. It's driving me nuts. It's making me have to struggle a lot. Now I'm just going to darken it.
I was going to say,
completely
why
out.
not just go
That's what I'm
fucking
doing. I'm
dark,
like,
and then it'll be easy to carve back in. Oh, I'm sorry, it's loud, huh? I scream. Going dark and then cutting back.
yeah. I forget we always have these on. I start doing
Yeah.
the same thing. No, it's so gnarly because I figure if I darken it, then I can't do it again.
Geico has the insurance industry leading app that lets you manage your policy anytime, anywhere, which means that Geico is always there for you.
So I'm gonna
Check. Can you check your Woodbury Hills? I told everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check my email right now.
I think the possum is starting to get angry. Listen, I thought if I fed it, it would go away, but now it is ripping holes in the drywall and making some sort of
Nothing.
nest. Just call me back. Geico, always there for you with savings and the industry-leading mobile app.
No, but Riverside Municipal shit sent me.
Oh, good. Maybe we could use it as a link.
Right? That's what I was thinking. Oh, it's some other bull crap though.
No.
But we can still.
Yeah.
It's just a reminder. Okay, so I'm gonna I had the warm gray that I mixed with my Scarlet Lake and my Indian Yellow. But now that I've painted a little bit more on there and I've kind of gotten a little bit more familiar with the image, just like Dave was saying, I'm seeing a little bit more Indian Yellow and Yellow Ochre in my warms. So I'm going to mix a pile of grays like that too.
Now, as soon as I started putting any opaque color at all into, like wanting to use any kind of opacity or opaqueness in my drawing color, I brought it out of the drawing pile. Like sometimes people will drop it straight into the edge or something. And I brought it out of the pile to use, like to try it or to do it, because once you start doing something like that, like mixing opaques in your transparents, which are your darks, you've poisoned that pile. It's done.
And you got to
Like,
start
it'll never
over if
be
you really
completely-
want it. If you really want that trueness.
Well, yeah, and you'll fight. You'll always fight to get dark again. You know, like as dark as you wanted to when you had that drawing pile, which is should be kind of your darkest dark like pile that you mix. I mean, I understand we all go back and kind of mix stuff later on, but like it should be. But all I was trying to just refer to that because I used to just go, oh, I just put a little bit on the side, and man, it's just not worth it.
No, I know. I've gotten better just mixing the bigger piles of it. And just...
Yeah. Like, so just again, I don't know if this helps anybody, but I always have to remind myself, try to keep your piles separate.
Your brush is
separate,
clean.
you know, and I'm still not using. I brought out a separate brush this time to actually use. I'm not into my cools yet. I'm still kind of in the warm or transparent side, so I'm not really concerned about it. I'm just trying to actually make a little bit, not mud, but
it is muddy. It's a dirty, stainy
mud, yeah.
color. Can you?
Well, especially over in here, there's a lot of mud butt color.
Thank
What do
you.
you need? Just the top off?
Let me hold your brushes for you.
I caught it. My dick caught it. I mean, jeez, where's the other one?
I'll use another one if we can't get it.
Oh, that's it. If I can't, was that a challenge?
Here, let's see if I can get. Got it. Got one.
Yep, no, can't do it.
I got
I'm
one.
gonna tear the tube around.
Yeah, I was gonna
See,
say.
now that's what happens when you don't have lead anymore. No, lead would tear.
Those
easy.
tear even more.
Yeah,
I
they tear
ripped those
more.
open. All of a sudden, I have like some crazy like
Yeah.
30-year-old thing that's probably pure cancer by now, just oozing on me. I'm like, oh,
Pure cancer oozing on you?
yeah.
That sounds dreadful.
That's kind of the image I have of in my head when I'm using those old. I don't mind because it's kind of cool using the old ones. But then
Are you using this brush here?
No.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
If I can get it to loosen. No, I might have to just get another one. I'm all taking dirty brushes. If I could just wipe this out. But I want it to be organic. You know what I mean? I want like, I'm going to do branches. So I was like, I kind of want it to be like rough. Yeah, that's what I want. Some nastiness. I want something that later I can go in and lay some of that beautiful green on top of, and it'll just pop.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did there. I put I did
Yeah.
my stain, and then I did a blue green,
Yeah,
dirty blue, dark
what's up.
green over it too.
Yeah, baby. Sorry. I'm listening to a lot of the funk.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get some of those warm grays that kind of run through like the middle and left side almost more so. I mean, everything's in everything, but I'm first trying to block everything in, and then I'll kind of stitch once I kind of have everything based in. He's got a really dirty, mucky color under his chin, actually, of gray.
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, that's a...
Oh, it's very reggae beat.
Mm-hmm.
I was tripping. That's what made me look. I was like,
Oh, what is that Stevie?
I thought we had it on funk.
Yeah. His belly's got a lot of that warmth. And since everything's at a tilt, I'm just, I did a landmark kind of all the way through the top that runs through. And so I'm just always remembering to kind of re-measure everything at that I did. I did a line from his ear to ear and kind of did a cross through it for now, through his head. Just so I kind of have like a little marker because it's at a tilt. It's at a really weird angle.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can kind of get kind of off on that. So that's kind of what I've been doing. If you're watching, you're kind of in a weird, you're having a hard time remarking anything. Just going and adding all that warmth all along there and trying to keep everything kind of really separated right now. And then I'll go in and stitch everything in once I get into those lights. But he's really chunky furred, so you can kind of just go in and chunky furred.
No. I was looking at the kind of off-brand compared to the Princeton and what they do after a while.
Junk, huh?
Yeah, they just
Out.
blow out. But they're great for doing these organic tree things.
I was gonna say I still use
I like spending a little bit of money on the better brushes because they just do so much better.
I like cheaper brushes for cheaper brushes. Sometimes there are, like you said, like over time they still do their job and stuff, and then there's a time but then for sure the nicer brushes just worth it. Just keeping that longevity of clean. But I kind of like when you get those cheaper brushes and they get all funky, and then you can start using them for stuff you didn't even know until you see how they become. Then you're like, oh, I'll use this for when I'm
especially when you're doing a lot of organic trees.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a perfect leaf. I'm just gonna save that for.
Yeah. Well, I watch. I can't remember Lane something Studios. She. I think it's she. She never shows herself. She just shows her paintings. Or they just show their paintings. So I'm not really familiar. And the name is one of those ones that could go either way.
Yeah.
But anyway, their paintings, this person paints these huge, long, narrow but long paintings. I've shown you them a million times of trees.
Yeah.
Just like a grassy field and then a tree line.
Yeah,
the edge of a forest or something.
They're beautiful.
Beautiful. Just incredible, man.
Yeah.
And she uses the most janky brushes to make those effects. And it's awesome. 'Cause she'll show you.
Well, that's
She
the
still holds the brush up to the camera and like, check this out.
That's the human. That's what I love about humans. Like, we're really resilient. You just find ways. Like, yeah, there's tools that are easier. I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Always, like when you were saying, like a nice brush is always nice when you have a really. It is. It's so awesome, especially when you go a long time not. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, but.
You get these cool.
But at the end of the day, you can achieve what you need to. I mean, we've cutting the brush down to back to life.
I think it was Nico Hurtado who came into the paint night one night and was saying how he was using a belt sander.
That's awesome.
To reshape his brushes.
Yeah, because sometimes you also find a brush that you're like, oh.
Something like that. I think it was some kind of sander, but I'm pretty sure it was a belt sander, and he flipped it upside down.
That's awesome.
He flipped it over. I don't know what I did. It's just on my palette now.
Yep, you're good. Oh, yep, you're good.
Okay. But anyways, he was asking Mike. He was like, "Is that all right to do?" And he's like, "Does it work?" And he goes, "I just hit it again. This thing, it should be all right."
So I'm going in kind of like more mid warm grays on him.
Yeah, so I grabbed another brush too, and I'm throwing in some of the really cool grays down below.
What mix did you do for your grays?
I just did the traditional cobalt burnt sienna. I just wanted a quick one. Like I'm using it more so for just a painting, like a placeholder. Or I mean, not a painting, a placeholder.
Yeah.
I'm painting like the whole fence that's behind him gray. Like I'm not doing any of the transitions.
Yeah.
I'm just still shoving around my drawing because I did such a terrible drawing.
There is no drawing with him though. That's the thing.
That's what I just started having to realize is that I'm not even going to be able to get a drawing really.
You can't really draw them in. You kind of just have to like block and bring out. Right when I sat down and started looking and I started kind of talking my way through. And I was like, oh, wait, I'm not going to be able to do a drawing or else I'm just going to get too lost in the size of the proportions or whatever, or the accuracy of everything.
It just helped me a lot to get the coolness in place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hold it. Like I had to hold that dark area down there so I can just get over it and stop trying to paint what I thought I saw.
Yeah. And just paint what you see.
Yeah, I couldn't paint what I was seeing. I just couldn't do it today for some reason. Someday, it's like writer's block, I'm sure. They talk about an artist block and I always thought that meant that the person didn't know what to draw.
No, it's just wasn't the brush marks weren't working. Or
like what you weren't doing, or
the colors weren't mixing, or something wasn't hitting. Like I've had that with composition so many times, where I'm like, "What the hell's going on? Like, why can't?" And I just could not get something like in the right spot,
or a likeness. No matter how much you fight a face, and then you come back the next day and realize it wasn't even your nose, the eyes. It was something to do with how wide you did the nose or how long you did the nose. And that threw off everything that measured off of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, gosh, dang it. Like, see, there I go again. Look at it. See how I started to bring him back out again? Just for some reason, I think I know better.
Yeah. And that's not, you don't know better. You just got to paint what you see. I mean, I didn't mean you don't know better. I mean.
Right? You don't.
No, I didn't mean that shitty. I just meant more like...
No, that's what I'm saying. That's how I call it. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing that.
And that's what I was with him, too. That's why I also didn't really start off that way, because it's like you want to go right into his face, because that's the detail of him.
Yeah. Well, it's what's awesome about it.
Yeah.
Well, you picked a doozy, babe. Manny's all, hey, let's just do a nice chill painting and
Well, you can zoom in and just paint his face in a bust, and that would be like a real, you know what I mean?
I understand.
That's what I said at the. Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to pick a doozy. Sorry, everybody. I thought it was kind of not.
You don't think it is, and then because you think, oh, you could just do, if you really want to, you could just eliminate everything and do a cat. But this, the angles, everything's all crazy. He's like on this weird angle. And... No, I'm only messing with you. I'm just.
No, I know.
I gotta jaw you a little bit about it. Mess with you.
Are you mad because it's not going your
because
way?
I'm not having a perfect.
Bingo, bingo.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Better settle down.
No, you are right though. It is a very. But that's also kind of why I chose it though, because to paint him, you have to paint him dynamic, or there's nothing to paint. You know, like it's kind of like the way you gotta paint him. I'm gonna go really warm right now with my Scarlet. I added a little bit more Scarlet Lake and a little bit more white to that gray to get that belly in right there. I'm just kind of locking that in just because it kind of shapes that whole under spot right there. Brings those legs into their place.
My favorite morning routine is stabbing myself in the eyes when putting my contacts in. Oh my god, I was so pumped up today when my toddler stepped on my glasses. Snapped them right too. Awesome.
At LASIK Plus, we help free patients from hassles of glasses and contacts.
Did you have that titanium?
Oh yeah. I don't remember which one was the one that worked.
This is the stuff.
Oh, nuggets.
Huh.
I just spilled coffee all over me.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even drank one drink.
I'll heat it up. I'll
Thank you,
wipe my coffee off.
So I hope everyone else is having a wonderful day so far. I know that I think the rest of the country is just basically on fire, man. It seems like everyone's going through a heat wave.
Yeah, it's supposedly supposed to be. I mean, I hate to just be like, well, it's beautiful here.
Yeah.
But it's freaking beautiful here.
Yeah, it is really nice. But I know Florida's like in the 90s. I just spoke to my mother in Florida. And yeah, that's in the 90s. She said 80s and 90s all the time. But raining.
Oh, that's the worst. So
That's always so crazy to me. Like, what? It's raining in 90? That's terrible. Yeah, when you're doing wet into wet, like we're doing these kind of quick because it's online or whatever, and we kind of have to. Wet into wet, you have to have something handy nearby that you can kind of, because if you're laying a cool right up next to a warm, when you go to lay that on, you're going to pick up some of that warmth. And it's, if you really, really want to keep that separation, you gotta kind of dab off your brush. And it's kind of cool to get some of it to mix because everything's in everything. But it's always good to kind of dab stuff off if you really want to maintain that. And just, it only takes a second. I never used to. It doesn't seem like it mattered. But like right here is a bunch of warm for this dark that's up in the reference. And I want to get right up to it. You don't want to have holidays, they call it in tattooing. You don't want to have gaps between colors. Where the background meets the object or the interest of the piece. Yeah, man, like, I don't know. Own it. take responsibility for it, I guess. Do the work. You know how it is. You gotta. You see now, like, I don't know if you could see it in the thing. I'm gonna try to bring it closer to the camera too. I don't know if you could see that, but like the way the blue, that cool blue, kind of next to all this warmth, and then it's complementary. It really freaking pops out, man. I think it looks cool. I kind of put it in the light where it blew it out a little bit, but yeah, that's what I was looking for when I was doing my stain with that kind of reddish color. And if you notice on Brit's too, she's got all that cool next to the warmth, and boy, it just works in my opinion on the eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to look at. It's all dark. That I'm just kind of like I said. I'm in temperature and value mode. I guess you could say I'm trying to draw with those things right now, and just because I can't draw this image to save my life, so I figured I'm just gonna switch to just like drawing what I see, like forcing myself to see like the shape that's above between his two ears, that whole area that's like from the corner of here to here. Like I'm just trying to match that with what I see, and then the shape that kind of comes in the side and goes down next to his head, I'm gonna just try to match that. And in doing that, when I'm done, if I just match all those things correctly, he should be pretty much outlined in. And then I could just start laying color in, or basically different warmths and values of white, different versions of white until I get him. And I don't know. Hopefully we'll get close. But it's cool because now we're starting to work our way into some like warm areas of the white. It's just white, 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 but it's not just white, white, white. So, and remember, green is not a creative color. That's a nod to our buddy Sean up here. Green is not a creative color. Wow, he's a good-looking cat. He's a lazy guy though right now. Well, he sleeps. They say cats sleep like 18 hours a day. This dude, I tell you, he sleeps. Ridiculous. Especially right now. It's just so nice. He's been dying for the sun to come out. It's out now. He's so stoked. This cat likes the weather here the most.
Oh, I
out of
know.
everybody. Like all of us that moved here from
It was
California.
crazy. Like the second we moved here, he had a pretty coat, like a really pretty colored coat, but it was just like kind of scruffy.
Yeah.
He was adorable, but it was just scruffy. And then it was like, I mean, I swear, within the month, excuse me, within a month, he was like a poof ball, like a little cotton ball, and he started getting that downy Angora fur, like rich. Like he already had it, but that's all he had. It was like he had just like his little baby downy, and he wasn't growing the outer because it's too hot for it. And so now he actually has like that outer ring. It's really pretty. He's so fluffy.
So now I'm kind of in this weird transition where there's a little bit of warmth in some of the cool, and some of the cool and some of the warmth. So I'm just gonna go with those. But I'm still wiping my brush off and trying to separate that pile, trying to keep that pile separate. Because I think that's probably some of the trick with these whites. I don't know 100% with whites, like what all the tricks are.
Yeah.
That was another person that I knew. That was their gig.
Yeah.
They knew that shit. I don't want to try to pretend
Yeah, right.
to be that.
Yeah, Hussar is like, if you want to know if you ever want to, if you're watching, you already know, or if you,
Yeah, if you know Michael, he's the master of white.
that's where you go to look up whites, man. I'm adding a little bit of that kind of yellow ochre, Indian yellow, kind of gray, muddy mid. It kind of looks weird when I first mix it and put it on there, but then when I really look, there is this like, he's picking up a lot of like yellowy warmth in some place up on his right side, our left. Kind of just go into like the mids. So then once I drop all those lights in and kind of stitch that area, hopefully there's enough transition to make the white fur to like really kind of pop. He's got such a little furry chest right there.
Yeah, it's all bushy in that picture.
Yeah, he's like a 70s like
Supermodel, like a romance model.
Yeah, he's all, this is my chest.
Look at my chest. I have a glorious mane of hair.
I'm gonna start doing the mids up by his head and his ear and kind of carve that area in and start rendering in and shaping him. Realized I need to get more of his face in grays before I go a little further. Oh, yeah.
I gotta get some of his nose in now. Maybe start doing some of that eye. Holding the place for it at least.
Okay, half of his face is in shadow. I forgot to drop that in because I didn't want to put information, but I'm going to lay in that gray because it's almost all a nice soft kind of lavender gray. So I'm just going to kind of block in. I'm not putting any actual shaping because there isn't any. He's just fluffy, and then there's just little lines of a nose, lines of a mouth, and little open glossy eyes. Really, huh?
Right? Really shoot your shot? Oh, sorry, they can't hear the music.
I know.
That's terrible.
So
I shouldn't do that. Everyone's like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Oh, wow.
Are you pulling a me?
Yeah, I was. It's this napkin I have. I would get rid of it now.
Yeah. And then I'm kind of keeping a lot of them kind of narrow and thick. I know he's kind of fuzzy, but right before I'm done with his fur, I'll pull it out into the background because I'm scared to get like everything stuck inside there. Once I get that, once you drag it in, it's got that green. That was what was scary about getting that dark background in so soon, man. It's like once it pulls in, it's in there. Okay. Shape a little bit more of his head in, a little bit more.
So, if Manny, if you're still watching, I don't know if you are or not. Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to doing an interview type thing coming up next week. It's gonna be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
We'll hit you up, but we've been.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
It's been kind of fun sitting there thinking about stories that I've heard from you, from Dave, just trying to rethink of stuff about you, and it was fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna be looking forward to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw Rad was getting re-released, and I was wondering if they were gonna do the same thing with Brink.
I think I saw it on like Disney Plus.
Brink?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. So you still hopefully will be getting massive fat royalty checks again from that because of being a superstar in that show, causing Britney so much losing her mind that she broke her arm or something. No.
I was just like, okay, you see someone, you go to a painting thing, and then you get home, you want to paint.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of like that. I watched that, I'm like, I'm going to get on my bike. I'm like, like bunny hopping off of shit.
And what year was this approximately? 90?
I'll tell you right now. Let me go look when Brink came out.
Oh, it was like when it was new?
Yeah, because Brink, like, when it would air, was like Disney. So it would, like, 1998. I was 7.
Okay.
So 7-year-old Brittany was watching Brink.
Okay.
And I get on my bike right after the first time I had watched it. And I'm like, you know how those little dirt patches in the sidewalk?
Mm-hmm.
They have like little open spots to put trees. Well, there was no trees. It was just some like little ghetto
Well,
neighborhoods.
save it. Don't tell the whole story. Don't tell the whole thing because I want that
cliffhanger
to be
is
part of
7-year-old
Manny's
Brittany started bunny hopping.
Yeah.
After watching Brink.
Right. Probably directly Manny's part.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I'll say that just because it's funny. It's your fault, Manny.
Yeah.
No.
Now you're broken.
I was also watching Krusty Demons and
No.
Quicksand.
It was
and
Manny's
a lot of
fault. So we're looking forward to seeing.
Wow, that was 7 years old.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's tripping me out now.
Right?
Yeah, it's
especially
1998.
Because Manny wasn't 7. Manny was like.
I'm adding
82.
some of my pink grays, but I'm pulling out from that pink gray and adding a little bit more scarlet. Not going straight just into scarlet because he actually has very soft pastel ears right now because the light's not like blowing him out too much. He's actually very pastel palette right now. The lighting, the time of day, everything's very pastel. I don't know. That's at least what I'm kind of seeing. Wow, 1998?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I never saw the movie. Sorry, Manny, if you're watching, but I never saw it.
Yeah, he was the double for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think he was the main character. It was about a Hispanic kid who thought he had a regular watch and then found out that later on he had a calculator watch. And so he got pissed and went after the gang that sold him the calculator watch, and wanted his revenge. And then the whole story follows how he ends up killing everybody. Oh wait, that's not it.
No, that's not it. That's not the movie.
Okay. No, I don't know. What is the movie? Maybe people could watch it. Like if anybody sees
they
this,
should,
all
if you're
3
into,
watchers
like,
of it.
It was a Disney movie, so it's like
Yeah.
it's Disney movie. So
Disney movie.
but it was like rollerblading, like kids. Like it was like a group of kids, like in high school, and one kid he had just moved out of town, like, you know, into a new place, and you know, obviously he's like on other people's turf, coming in as like, you know, Mr. Cool Dude, and that's where it starts. Like, you know, the bad.
Does he get the hot? Does he take the hot girl from the local
what
bully?
I loved is they had no.
That's usually what happens.
It was more just like he came in as like the badass like blader, you know, and there was already like an established.
Oh, there was already
going
a
on,
local rollerblading crew.
But it was really cool. It kind of showed like the X Games style, like, of stuff, you know, like it would show scenes like that. It had really cool scenes. Like I remember this like downhill ones that were actually, from what I remember, it's been so long. It actually had really cool like scenes. I remember being like, wow, this is like, because like I said, I grew up off-roading, so I grew up watching like Krusty Demons and like all of those, where we would watch like the real one, you know, like, so on a movie you would always be like, oh, but I remember in Brink, that's what I liked about it, is it was
like they were actually trying.
It seemed cool, yeah. It seemed like it was really well done, and like the downhill one I remember a lot, and then they had like a lot of ramps in it, from what I remember, like a lot of cool shots. You know, it wasn't just like rollerblading around just on the street. You know what I mean?
Trying to make rollerbladers tough guys.
Yeah,
you know
I didn't want it to. It was actually really cool. It kind of showed a little like that X Games more style of them, and then so it was like, you know, the young kid came in and kind of took what the other kid kind of had going on in a way, just because he was cool. He's a cool kid. He wasn't a dick. He was a badass, and like
sounded like you sweet on him. No, just kidding.
No, I just liked the movie. Kidding. I actually liked because they had a girl on the team.
Yeah.
Gabriella. She was like a badass little skating chick too on there. That was like how I was, like tomboy.
Yeah.
It was actually like it was a Disney movie, but it was a good actually.
Yeah, it was done right. It was done cool. Right on.
Yeah. It was actually really popular when I was a kid. Like from what I read, you know, I remember all of us all really into it. It was popular, and it played for like years on Disney's. You know how like they had like repeat movies and stuff? It was one that played forever. Like I feel like it was always on as a kid growing up.
See, I never really watched that much of it because I had kids that watched cartoons a lot in the 90s. You know what I mean? Both my kids were like tiny kids.
97 was a little too young for them.
Yeah, so they were watching cartoons and whatnot.
That was still like the younger cartoons.
That's what I got to watch. So I didn't even hear about that movie. And then definitely neither of my kids were savvy with balancing type sports.
Yeah, I was all into sport, like if it was anything off-roady or like
just weren't into it.
Or like skating and stuff. Just in general, my family was around, like my dad.
Right.
My family was around it, so it was just kind of a normal movie I would just gravitate towards. You know, it was like, oh, cool, a movie that's more like cool sports, not like, you know, as I always feel like skating, blading.
Yeah.
Dirt bikes are all in the same. It's like alternative sport. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, they were alternative style sports, I guess you could say.
The people were more alternative.
Yeah, they were from our area too, which was cool. They were from Southern California, IE, and all that area. All those kind of people, and the beach.
Yeah.
So, I think most people that just identified with those sports from that area, the X Games stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else had to get it with magazines. You know what I mean? A lot of those places in the Midwest, like,
Yeah.
they don't have skate parks on farms.
Yeah.
And they're not going to give up that land for a skate park.
Now I'm going in, going a little bit more into my lights on him and establishing some of my light areas. Because then I'm going to go back in the background and go back and forth now between kind of finding his likeness and landmarking details.
Ooh, he gets so mad when you don't get his likeness.
Mm-hmm. Making sure to stick to my warmths first. And then I'll go in more of my cools.
Sorry, we're listening to this funk and this guy's just grunting and chicka 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 chicking. Chick chicka chicka. It's Jungle Boogie.
I'm just kind of laying in some chunks here while I have a color that I'm seeing up in that ear.
Cool in the Gang.
Kind of just laying in some of this chunks of his fur. He's so chunky fur. It's just like big chunks.
Yeah, he is. He's just full of them. Telling you, Cool in the Gang was onto something here.
And now I got kind of the warmers. I'm gonna go to like more yellow warms. I was doing more like Scarlet Lake, more red warms. He's kind of got three variations of cool or of highlights that I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a more towards the reds, then towards like the yellows, and towards the blues. What about you, my love? It's kind of what I'm seeing.
A lot of the yellows, blues.
Yeah.
There's the reds between his feet. I don't know where that's coming from. I think the wood.
Probably.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, is it a camera thing or was that from the wood? I'm just trying to get in like the lights and darks of his face so I can shape it. It's weird. You could draw him with a light on your brush. You like spread around a bunch of gray, and then it was like, oh, I can just draw over the top of that with like a version of light or dark or warm or cool.
So
His little chest is so chunky, man.
It's so cute. I know. So now I'm just adding those like yellow lights. Chunks. It's kind of, like I said, I'm not dragging all the way out yet. I'm going to go in when I'm like, because I don't want anything bleeding in. So I'm going to go right when I'm ready and then just pull those out. Pull those out. So then that brush doesn't get tainted
Mhm.
afterwards. So that's why he's kind of chunky or like little more densely
We gotta
packed
cut
right
him
now.
back still too.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's.
Oh no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
grow him. And I'm just gonna lay in this warmth. I'm gonna start kind of from the mid outside area, so then to keep my brushes nice and clean, I'm gonna then work towards the gray middle and lay those on. I gotta work on Sarah's flowers, the roses. We'll get that done.
Yeah, that was a random. I was like, what?
It's just I had to say it out loud, or
Yeah.
else
No,
it would be forgotten again in my mind. I thought.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's hearing that. She'd be like, "Oh, thank you for keeping me in mind."
Yeah, right. If she ever hears this, she's all, oh, that was pretty cool. Good looking out, folks.
He's got a lot of warmth on that. Almost like the brightest part of his face is that lower part of his chin. Now I'm going to take that yellowy highlighted area, and I'm going to go ahead, now that I've kind of got the area that doesn't have a lot of gray in, because I didn't want to get everything all kind of dirty yet, but now that I kind of got that yellow in where I needed it, I'm going to start hitting it towards the center of his body and off to that corner that has all the blue. And then right under his chest is like, to make it dynamic is what I was doing. I was doing a really cool and a really warm. So I'm doing right over that really cool shadow on his chest. I'm going to drop in that yellow and try to just make those little shapes with the brush and not add actually too much. Just the illusion of a lot of fur going on. That's what's kind of cool with that dynamicness, is it allows that, where you have to actually, less is more for you. You gotta do less work. I feel like that gets lost in when talking about dynamic. No one ever stops and says, actually, it's what makes your job easier. Like, I didn't realize that, like, until just doing it, knowing that I should do it. Like I know,
Mhm.
just because it makes
Right.
sense and you should compliment and you should whatever. And then all of a sudden I realize, oh, it's just making the illusion get there.
Faster,
Yeah, it's awesome.
more efficiently,
More
and
fast.
realistically.
Yeah, exactly. All of the above. Yeah, exactly.
The insurance industry leading app that lets you manage your policy anytime, anywhere. Which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you. Like animal control. When you're cornered.
Because it's never said that way. It's almost said like
I said you would be here about an hour ago, and
it's said in all the other ways. What's the end goal and what's its purpose, but not the added Benny.
Right.
Ripping holes in the drywall and making some sort of nest. It's coming back. Geico, always there for you with savings and the industry-leading mobile app.
Thanks for listening to Spotify. No, really. You could have listened to the radio. You could have spun some vinyl. You could have played a cassette tape. You could have listened to an 8-track tape. If you knew what an 8-track tape looked like. But you listened to Spotify. Thanks for that. And you still have hundreds more playlists to enjoy.
Remember, no one could hear the music that we're humming to. I heard you going.
sorry.
No, I'm just reminding because I do the
Yeah.
same thing. I'll like whistle or sing along to only one song, one part of the song.
They'll all sing the whole song or shut
Yeah.
the F up. Now I'm going to kind of go in and lay in some of his face details and get those in now. Give everything that I kind of put in, all those colors, a second to settle in. Then I'll go in with that last little highlighted area across the side of his body on the outside, and pull that fuzz out. But give it a minute to get tacky so it doesn't just run straight into that that green background. So I'm going to do his face now to kind of give that area a second. Yep, I was already doing it again. See, that's why you can't listen to certain channels, actually, then. You get too into the music.
Yep.
I was like, this isn't your silly TikTok account, okay? Take that somewhere else. Okay. So his eyes are blue. But you definitely don't want to just jump into that, because they're very dark from far away. And so is his nose, but it's so cute and pink though too. I was like, so much of me just wanted to drop in this like
The little cute pink nose.
his little cute pink nose, yeah. So
Yeah, I
teeny
know.
tiny. I'm gonna start off with getting the darks. I'm gonna use my background stain color. I heard you used to say that too, right? For your redarkening stuff. And now I'm gonna kind of go in and start doing little dark details on him. Get his nose shape, his eyes.
Yeah, this is a difficult one for certain. But I mean, it's fun still. It's just so if anybody's having a tough time, you're not alone.
Yeah, and when in doubt, start over and work from
Yeah,
just a
wipe
piece.
it away, man.
Wipe it away. Work on a piece of his face. Work on maybe just work on values and use it as a study for grades and you know. But when in doubt, remember that it's gonna look like nothing until you just go through the steps because there's so little information in him, truly, because he's a cotton ball. So you just gotta kind of trust your steps and work your way through it, and light to dark, lean to fat, back to front, find measurements and landmarks, and work your way from there.
Work it all night. See, you guys can't hear that we're listening to the Daz Band. And they're singing some really great funky. I wish we could stream the music, man.
I know.
Yeah, I tried to draw his eyes and I couldn't. I just had to put the color in.
Yeah.
That's what was part of the song, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. My fingers are covered in paint. I could feel it kind of in the background.
And just like every other part of him, a lot of what makes up his features are the variations of gray. The gray on his nose, the gray around his eyes. So you kind of just have to start whittling those in and kind of trusting if you go dark to light, you'll find it in there. So I'm just going in. I'm going to reestablish these darks and then probably go around to the rest of them and reestablish some of the darks. And then drop in some of that glow around him and push it out, and then see where I'm at.
Still don't think that's cool enough. So I'm going to cool it down a little bit more, thin it out, mix it together while it's on the canvas kind of thing. You know, you just push it into where you need to. I just realized I needed it to be much cooler down here. So it's okay. Gotta fix it. Oh, see, nobody could hear it. There I go. Get off. Who is this? Foxy. Roll bounce. That's what we're listening to. That's what it's boiled down to in this household. Looks so funny. His head's so big compared to his body in this picture.
I know, because he's just so
Because the wind's blowing his mane up. So it's like going, it's going from behind. If you look at his shoulders, his mane sticks outside of his shoulders, so he looks hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
He's such a weird little cat. So funny. What's he doing now? Oh, he turned around. He yelled at me so funny a little while ago because the fan was blowing on him too much.
That's hilarious. He's like, and I'm definitely not getting up to fix the problem, so.
No, like the inside, I was blowing the fan on him from inside out of the house, out the sliding glass door, and he was just like, he meowed really. That was what he was meowing about really loud, right when we started.
Yeah,
that was him out there. He was like, "Hey."
No, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
He was meowing like, I'm not gonna get up, so chop chop.
Yeah,
like,
you need to come out and fix this situation that I'm in right now, dude.
These people are doing blow for sure.
I like this synthesizer. You hear that? Wop, 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 wop. So funny. This is what cocaine does to people.
Yeah. See? This is the perfect time to say that.
Oh, this was cool.
I'm gonna go in and do a couple
Oh,
more establishing darks, the dark grays on him real quick. Now I got his face in, I can start building the shadows around him. With the whiskers, I'm just gonna drop in some dark.
I would graffito them in.
Yep. And drop in just the gray color that you see that's underneath and pull those out. Just because it's so subtle. I don't want too much information starts making it not look realistic.
While we may be doing things differently these days, there's one thing that hasn't changed. At QFC, we still love fresh local food just as much as you do. So we're making sure that we've got the fresh food and essentials you need every time you shop with us. Order today for delivery or free pickup. QFC, love fresh, love local, love delivery. We're here to help you save on the food and essentials you need. Just buy 5 or more participating sale items and you'll save $1 each with card. QFC, love fresh, love local, love delivery.
Introducing a new way to support the music you love. The KEXP debit card from BECU. It's the only card that looks like a mixtape and
I'm just going in and stitching in some of those grays. And then I'm going to go in and drop in some of the fuzz around the outside. And then put in that background and see where I'm at.
There's a chance your local Geico agent has the same hyper-specific taste in music as you.
Yeah, I can't get enough of neo-operatic breakbeat. Do you listen to Cale Bent and the Lettuce Works? Only every day.
But there's a
I was making that music
Geico agent
today.
to help you out with insurance. They'll work hard to provide sound advice and significant savings. You don't need a hip underground music scene to do that. Local Geico agents.
He's almost got like that crazy lavender over on this side.
Yeah, he's got a lot of lavender. The whole dark side of his face I did almost in this like gray lavender.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I needed to heat my coffee.
Oh my god, I never
I
have
know.
taken a drink. If you heat it again, I promise I'll drink it. Mhm. Yeah, sometimes we forget to talk very much about what we're doing. Like Britton's been talking about, there's just so much not white going on in this white cat. It's really hard to recreate, I guess you could say. You kind of got to just keep playing back and forth with the different shades, you know, warm, cool. That's all it is, really. But then he's got like light blues and he's got lavenders. It's really cool.
You know, it's funny, if you compose it properly to the photo, everyone can turn their square photo and turn it into a diamond-shaped painting.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly. Like, it would just ding, kind of drop right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's gotten kind of tacky, excuse me, I'm gonna go in and add my my highlights. He's got a lot of just warm
Easy.
highlights. Sorry, shook it too much. So I'm gonna use my warm mids and kind of branch out from there, because he will have a lot of everything in him, because he's just reflecting everything. He's just like a big reflector.
Mm-hmm.
He literally is blinding sometimes when you see him just when he's just in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So funny.
Yeah, I know. He's bright. We have to move inside because our eyeballs start to melt out of our head. No. No, but we'll we'll go out in the morning to have coffee because he wants us to be on the porch with him all the time. It's like his thing. I don't know what it is. But anyways, we'll go out there to chill with him, and he's so bright that after a while we just come back in.
Yes, he's like a reflector. It's hilarious.
One, two, three, four, dance.
When you're doing that fur out, if you're happen to just be going the way I was about it, keep your brush clean during this part.
Yeah, get you quick.
Yeah. I'm trying to just do as much big chunk mimicking shapes for him to keep from having to do too much work. Oh, looks so cute. He's all teeny tiny.
I know, he's so tiny in this picture. You have to do him really tiny, too.
And with him, since you're painting in whites, bookmark your brightest brights on him, or stick to your bookmarks if you did like I did earlier. I'm going in and bookmarking those again, because since he is white, you don't want to just start having to redo everything you just did, because you kind of lost it with the brightness, or the value. So I'm just bookmarking my highest value again now, and getting those spots that I had marked earlier with my highest, and just kind of bookending them or bookmarking them or whatever, so I don't lose them.
Yeah. That happens quick.
Yeah. Especially with him, like, it's a little bit, it's a little bit more of a forgiving thing when you're doing human portraits, and you can kind of just like push it around a little bit. But when you're painting something that's one color, everything is important that you lay down, of keeping because everything or else it all just looks like a flat surface.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna go in and get my cool highlights in, And then probably go in and carve in the whiskers, reestablish some of his facial, like his eyes, his nose. And then might be close. I'm just taking my cool pile from earlier, my grays, and I'm just going a higher value with him. But just going straight from that pile, and then I'll mix into the one that I did that was the lavender for my other highlights. She's like, someone needs to knock down a few. She's probably like, someone needs to knock down a few notches.
Right.
So there's too many fucking people around the room thinking you're cooler than you are.
Right.
I mean, famous musicians. I mean, are you kidding me? Everyone just is so fake to you.
Yeah. Constantly telling you shit you want,
You want to. They think you want to hear some weird...
never being real with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a drag.
They can laugh to the bank.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
That's
too.
the trade-off, that you get to laugh.
They're like crying about it all the way to their bank.
Yeah. Boo-hoo. I know it sucks. Okay, haha. Let me go to my bank account, buy some shit. I'll feel better.
Yeah.
Go on Amazon.
Looking for Frontier? Hi, we're Simply Fiber. We bought Frontier so we could invest $500 million to create a more powerful network.
I'm sure that's why he did it. He just needed somewhere to put $500 million.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go the squeegee that I showed you earlier. Actually, you can get a bunch of different sizes. If I could find where.
Your spatulas?
My little, my little one. Oh, wait, no. I just saw one. Here we go. I have little baby ones. I'm gonna use these to do my whiskers, the hair in his ears, a couple little details like that. I'm just gonna lightly carve away.
I think those eyes need to be smaller.
Yeah. And with whiskers, people, I always tend that with cats, we always go over the top with the whiskers. even though they are over the top, and when you're looking at them, I think there's only like a few. He has long ones though, so you get to play with that. As I'm saying that, I'm going over the top because they're so much fun.
Yeah,
I think that's why I was saying it.
they are fun for certain.
I'm going to reestablish on my darks and then get the fluff on the other side of them in.
Get the fluff out. Get the fluff out of here.
Get the fluff out of here. I'm going to reestablish kind of the darks in his nose and mouth too. Just a little bit. You know, Natalia Fabia said a little trick the other day, and then Dave said it the other day, and it reminded me again. That nostril, you don't necessarily have to go as dark as you see. Draws a lot of attention. So maybe like tone it one hairline down a little bit than maybe what you were thinking. And it does. I do notice that it does soften everything just a smidge. So it doesn't like become so the most important, you know, like a most alluring thing to the eye.
Yeah, it draws the eye too.
Now I'm just going in and doing the rest of my highlights.
Well, I'm going to leave it like that. I wiped the eye out. It's totally wrong.
Kind of doing really, really lavender on that right side or his left side.
Look at my piles like purple.
Yeah, mine are too. It's almost pure purple. Just like lavender. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of my warmth. Oop, I just
Oh, did I hit it?
no. It was what I just kicked it a second ago. I just did it with my foot right here. That's good to know. It pulls one person's mic, not both. That's good. Turn around, my love. Turn around, my love.
Oh, no.
Okay. You're so right. You're like, if anyone's ever just talking, it's Parliament. It's so funny, huh?
It's called Discover Weekly, and you can play it right now. But remember, the playlist changes every week.
He looks like Dr. Skeleton right now. He's so cute.
I'm almost done. I'm hungry.
Yeah, let's get some food. I'm down.
I gotta get his nose in, but I'm just saying I was kind of.
Yeah, I am too. I was getting to those, getting into buttoning up, finding the end. Just kind of clean up the edges and kind of canoodle some stuff in. No, canoodle's probably not a word, but whatever.
Look at you, listening to Spotify while you do whatever it is you're doing. That's exactly why it makes sense to promote your business here. Yeah, your business. Whether you have 2 employees or 2,000, your voice can reach as broad or as narrow an audience as you need. And connect with them where visual media can't. Try it today at adstudio.spotify.com or tap the banner.
I'm just adding to my background color I did earlier, my brown background color, a little yellow that I have on mine. I think it's like cadmium. I can't remember. And then I'm gonna add Indian yellow with white to kind of brighten up some of the spots. Some of the background.
Remember your mic's on.
Thank you. Sorry. That's a hard thing to remember, huh? I didn't have my mic on, good thing, but it reminded me too. Go and pop in some of those backgrounds.
Mic's on.
I'm just dropping in kind of the light colors for those leaves on the back, kind of like since I had the dark background, just dropping in the top highlight, just to kind of add some illusion to the leaves. think I'm getting close to getting pretty close to mine. I didn't get in much of his feet, but that's okay. I might just kind of leave it loose at the bottom right there. I'm gonna do a soft little a blur.
Hmm?
I said burr instead of blur. Do a soft little blur real quick on some spots and kind of make sure I get that fuzz. Should I keep that brush clean? I almost went right back into it again and again. And then I'm just gonna soften right there and kind of blur back some stuff. All right. I'm getting pretty close, my love. How are you doing?
I'm real close.
Okay.
I'm good.
Oh no, you're fine. You can keep going. I'm gonna clean my brushes.
No, I'm good. I want to eat.
I might wait till it gets a little bit more tackier later on and do another little soft blur on him in some spots. But I don't want to overdo it yet, so I'm going to leave some of it kind of chunky, thick painted spots. If you paint along and you do post it, tag us if we'd love to see
we'd
them.
love to see it.
This week we kind of had something come up in a shoot, but we'll have some, actually we have a couple more references coming in for the next few days, over the next few days. Some stuff that we can add to these paint alongs on Wednesdays.
Gonna come back. I might come back and paint a little bit more of this in a little while.
It needs to get tacky. I started making mud in some spots, and I was like, does yours feel like you need to get tacky too? Yeah. If you're painting in oils, you're probably needing this to get tacky. At least for me, just because of all the whites. But yeah, we have more references that we have been shooting, and today we went on a photo shoot and started a little late. So apologies about that. But we went an extra hour than normal, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So we still stuck to the 2 hours. And I hope if the kiddo stuck around, I decided to do the kitty cat instead of a person. because I thought it'd be a little bit funner for you guys. I hope it was.
There's mine.
I hope you guys
Done.
had fun.
Hope everybody had a good time. We did.
Yes. We'll be painting Sunday. Either we'll be doing a podcast or we'll be doing one of these again with a model reference. I was thinking about maybe doing a little snippet from this ones from this weekend. That's like maybe just a body shot, doing like a torso painting or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Oh, that'd be dope.
So I'm gonna look around. I have a few other shoots I'm doing over FaceTime and in person this week. So we'll have some good references on Sunday and next Wednesday. Dave is going to be probably doing his little 30-minute, 20-minute drawings here and there. They're not scheduled ones. But you can come back and look on our page here and there and see some of his. He does his characters and in ballpoint and kind of more free thought, no plan, no nothing. So
yeah,
if you
just
want
free ball it.
Yeah, so if you want to join along or if you just want to watch, because they are shorter, so they're easier to watch, just quicker without having to really follow along. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Find us at Woodbury Hill Studio at everything. And
Yeah, we'll try to keep posting, and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty. Sunday, we'll be here Sunday. We'll be there 11 o'clock for sure on Sunday, not noon. And if you joined along, send us.
Yeah, your progress shots and everything. Thank you.
Alrighty, we might